Black Sam has never backed down from speaking the truth about his brother's death. But this time, he's gone all in. He just released shocking new CCTV footage from Nipsey's store, showing the heartbreaking final moments of that day. But this video doesn't just show the tragedy, it exposes major clues about who might have really called the shots behind the hit. Let's break it down. Black Sam dropped the footage everyone's buzzing about, taken from a nearby business facing the Marathon clothing store. In the clip, a man in a red shirt is seen creeping through an alley before stepping toward the storefront, like he's on a mission. Seconds later, shots ring out. Nipsey drops to the ground as terrified people scatter, running for their lives. What's even harder to watch is what comes next. The shooter stops, walks back, fires again, then brutally kicks Nipsey before taking off through the alley. Moments later, he jumps into a car driven by a waiting woman and speeds off like nothing.
So it's Sunday, it's busy in there. Why the in there didn't follow the protocol? I wasn't there. Why they didn't follow it? Maybe they just around helping the customer, doing some customer service. This is what I'm thinking, trying to, transition into some legitimate just selling clothes. But nobody was in the doorway.
Nothing happened. For Black Sam and the Asghedom family, this video isn't just proof. It's pain on replay. It's a brutal reminder that someone they loved was caught without protection when it mattered most. And that cuts deep, because anyone who really knows the game knows. You never move like that when you've got influence, money, and respect in the streets. You always keep security close. That's how real ones move, tight, alert, disciplined. And the Asghedom family, they lived by that code. Normally, they ran their setup like a well...
From my understanding, old boy walked up with no shirt on first to check the scene, because he know what's going on in that parking lot. And had a conversation, probably seen nobody was in the doorways, checked Hussle had on shorts, checked everybody else.
Oiled machine, security on the doors, eyes watching every angle, ready for anything. But here's the tragic twist. On that one day, the day when the plan slipped, Eric Holder made his move. That reality hits hard, and you can hear it in Sam's voice every time he speaks about it. He knows deep down that if he had been there, or if the usual security routine had been followed, his brother might still be alive today. The pain in his words tells the whole story. It's not just grief, it's regret and frustration. Even people from LA who were close to the situation spoke out, pointing out how strange it was that no security was at the marathon that day. In the streets, everyone knows, a spot like that, connected to someone as respected as Nipsey, should always have protection. The fact that no one was strapped, that nobody even shot back when the attack happened, that's a serious red flag that something wasn't right.
Number two, when it come through the alley with a red shirt, that's the throw off, or the Bloods did it, or the Inglewood families did it, or the BPS, that's the throw off, red shirt.
Right. But Eric Holder wasn't just moving on impulse. This man was calculated. That's what makes the whole situation feel even darker. He wasn't guessing, he was planning. And get this, according to witnesses, before the shooting, he was seen walking around shirtless.
So you ain't seen your partner in a while. You ain't seen your associate. Y'all grew up together. You ain't seen your friend in a while. He push up on you. Hey, and Nipsey, it's floating around. Take care of it.
Checking the area like he was running a scouting mission. That wasn't random. He was testing the setup, figuring out how to move before striking. This wasn't just another street beef gone wrong. It was cold, strategic, and personal. Every second of that footage makes it clear this wasn't a coincidence. It was a setup that went exactly how he wanted it to go. And that's what makes Black Sam's release of this footage so powerful. It forces everyone to see what really went down that day. The streets don't play fair. You can be doing everything right, trying to grow, trying to stay solid, and still end up facing tragedy. That's exactly what happened when the marathon team started running things without Black Sam around. Without his presence keeping everyone sharp, they started operating more like a regular business, focused on customers, clothing, and keeping things professional. And in most worlds, that's progress, that's growth. But in their world, where success breeds envy, and where even your wins can paint a target on your back, letting their guard down turned deadly. The question now is chilling. Was it just bad timing, or was someone playing chess behind the scenes? Did somebody already know security would be light that day? Was it just coincidence that Sam wasn't around, or did someone make sure of it? These aren't wild conspiracy theories. These are real questions when you look at how perfectly the setup went down. The entire security chain broke in ways that don't make sense for a team that ran things so tight. It feels like somebody wanted it that way. And that's the cold truth from the trenches. Now that the whole security breakdown is clear, it's time to dig deep into what really went down between Nipsey and Eric Holder that day. Because let's be real, everything most people think they know about that conversation is straight up wrong. The mainstream news, the court, even some hip-hop blogs, they've all been spinning the same story that makes it sound like Nipsey brought the drama on himself. But when you hear what really happened, it flips everything. The only person who can truly speak on that moment is Herman Cowboy Douglas, the realest one in the mix. He was right there, standing beside Nipsey when every single word was said. Cowboy's got no agenda, no payout, no reason to twist the story. He's been trying to keep it real from day one, but the louder lies kept drowning him out. See, the version they painted in court made it sound like Nipsey confronted Holder hard, called him a snitch in public, embarrassed him, and basically set off a deadly chain reaction. But that's not the truth. Cowboy's been saying it for years. Nipsey never disrespected that man. He never called him a snitch. That word never even left his mouth. What really happened was way more genuine. Nipsey was out there being the same community leader he always was. He was in front of his store, taking pictures, shaking hands, showing love, just being that hometown hero everyone respected. When Holder walked up, it wasn't two enemies squaring off. It was old faces crossing paths again. And in the streets, this kind of exchange happens all the time. Older, more established dudes try to guide the younger ones, to warn them, to help them move smart, to keep them from making the wrong enemies. That's all this was. Real street mentorship, not confrontation. Nipsey was doing what real OGs do, trying to look out for someone who might be walking into danger. He basically told Holder, "Look, bro, I'm hearing some talk about you that could put you in a bad spot out here." That's it. He wasn't exposing him or clowning him. He was trying to help him stay safe. Think about that. Nipsey was offering guidance, not disrespect. He was showing love, not calling him out. But somewhere between that real moment and what the public was told, the whole message got twisted into something ugly. And that's the heartbreaking part. What started as a conversation, meant to protect, turned into the story that took his life. Nipsey wasn't trying to tear Holder down. He was trying to lift him up, warn him, keep him from ending up in more drama. That's the truth Cowboy's been saying from the start. And once you hear it from him, you realize the story the world got fed was built on lies. This wasn't about ego, it was about community. Nipsey was doing what he'd always done, trying to bring peace, trying to uplift. But in a world where jealousy and rumor can twist even your best intentions, that same loyalty can cost you everything. Black Sam dropped some heavy truth when he revealed there were deep political tensions behind the scenes, real neighborhood power struggles. He explained that getting certain big-name collaborators safely in and out of the area wasn't easy, because not everyone liked the idea of Nipsey bringing high-profile outsiders into local turf. That right there shows that hours before his death, Nipsey and his crew were dealing with serious pressure from within their own community. Pressure tied to money, territory, and pride. They weren't just talking about music or business. They were having intense conversations about security, loyalty, and how to move smart in a city where not everyone wants to see you win. Those weren't small threats either. These were potential dangers from people close to home, way deeper than anything Eric Holder could pull off on his own. Then there's the Dr. Sebi angle, a conspiracy that added a whole new layer to the mystery. Word was, Nipsey was working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi's claims on natural health cures that could change the game. While there's no solid proof connecting that project to his murder, the timing still raises eyebrows. But let's keep it real. The most telling clues don't come from internet theories. They come straight from the streets. The way law enforcement handled things that day looked off from the start. Reports say when Holder's female companion tried to turn herself in, she was actually turned away by police. What? That's the kind of detail that sparked an internal affairs investigation and had people wondering if someone higher up was trying to keep certain details quiet. And when you look at how much damage Nipsey's death caused, it's clear this wasn't just one man pulling a trigger. Who really gained from wiping out a self-made entrepreneur who was creating jobs, building wealth, and empowering his community? Who benefits when a movement like that suddenly collapses? Those are the real questions. That's why investigators should have looked beyond Holder to whoever might have been pulling the strings behind him. And the most suspicious part of it all? Holder's own behavior after the crime. 2 days after the shooting, he didn't go into hiding. He walked into a mental health clinic asking for psychiatric help. That's not normal for someone who just acted in the heat of the moment. So was he really having a breakdown? Or was that part of a calculated plan? Maybe he was told exactly what to do to build a mental health defense in advance. Because let's be honest, this whole attack was too organized to be random. Everything, from the timing to his escape, looked like someone had thought it through. Then came the trial, and the way it played out didn't sit right with a lot of people. The prosecution leaned hard on the testimony of Holder's female companion, who got full immunity for cooperating. Meanwhile, the defense didn't even try to deny the shooting. They shifted gears, arguing it wasn't premeditated. Holder's lawyer, Aaron Jansen, claimed it happened in the heat of passion, hoping to get it downgraded to manslaughter. But in the end, Holder got 60 years, basically a lifetime sentence. He won't even see parole until he's served 51 years. By the time that day ever comes, most of the people connected to whatever went on behind the scenes will be long gone. That's why some believe that the full truth may never see daylight. And here's where Black Sam's moves make even more sense. He's been cutting ties, watching who he lets around him. He doesn't greenlight certain projects or let specific people use Nipsey's name, and that says a lot. It shows he suspects some folks might be trying to profit off his brother's legacy, maybe even the same ones who helped tear it down. Because look how fast everything crumbled after Nipsey was gone. Within months, the Marathon store was shut down, the connected businesses folded, and countless jobs disappeared. That kind of collapse doesn't happen by accident. It almost feels like somebody knew exactly which strings to pull to destroy everything he built. But the most chilling part? The way the narrative got hijacked so quickly. Within hours of the shooting, the media locked in on that snitch story, the same one that never even happened. That false claim served a purpose. It painted the murder as typical street beef, not a targeted hit. It made Nipsey look like he brought it on himself, shifting focus away from the bigger forces at play. This story isn't just about one man's death. It's about how power, jealousy, and hidden agendas can twist the truth and bury the real story. Because once that false narrative took over, it became almost impossible to dig out the truth about what really went down that day.